Ocarina of Time sucks. Well, not really. It's a good game. You know? Everything about it is like... You ever had a drumstick? Those pre-made ice cream cones? Vanilla ice cream on the inside. Waffle cone dipped in chocolate. Covered with nuts. And, the good ones, they have the fudge filling in the core. Or caramel. The caramel-filled ones are my favorites. But The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is like a drumstick with a core made out of donkey diarrhea. And everyone I look at is just eating these drumsticks with donkey feces falling out of their mouths, and they're just like, man, Ocarina of Time's the best game ever. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. There, abstract theses is done. Nar asked me if I ever wrote out notes or anything like that for these videos. And no, I don't. But in this particular case, I made a bullet point list here to compare Goemon 64 with Zelda 64. And I'm going to prove to you in this court of law that Goemon is a better game than Zelda. Let's start off with probably one of the biggest things is you play a blue wind-based musical instrument in both games in order to fast travel from one location to another. In Goemon, when Yae, the super hot ninja who wears royal purple and has green hair that I maybe had a crush on when I was a kid, yeah, one of her tools is the flute, and I'll get into that in a minute. Each character has their own tools, but I'll get into that. When you play the flute, you summon your personal 3-mile-long Chinese serpent, Seiryu dragon, lightning beast, and it takes you to coffee houses, or dim sum, or tea houses, or any cafe on the side of the road, because those are your fast travel locations. And for a console game, that was definitely ahead of its time. And I think it's also more convenient than Legend of Zelda, where your fast travel locations are really only unlocked after you open up another dungeon when you're an adult. So, how do you travel in Zelda? Well, you disappear into a bunch of floating particles and then appear in front of the dungeon entrance, which is substantially less cool than A Link to the Past, a good Zelda game, where a duck flies you around. So, Goemon wins, Zelda loses, round one. Okay, max health upgrades, all right? I'll give props to Zelda for coming up with heart pieces. You get 4 heart pieces, they're worth 1 heart container. Getting a heart container increases your max health by 1 full heart. Okay. In Goemon, instead of heart pieces, you pick up white lucky Neko statues. The thing that Meowth, the Pokemon, is based on, like a cat with the paw like this, holding the golden Rio coin. Yeah, you pick up lucky Neko statues. 4 white ones are worth a gold one. So when you find a golden lucky Neko statue, that's just a heart container. Explore, get more max health. Both games do this with literally the exact same methodology, but I'm going to give Goemon points on this one because I like lucky Neko statues and I think that's cute. So Goemon's better again. Going into round 3. Zelda. We have the blabbermouth owl who, as soon as you get into Hyrule Field, this owl is like, Link, did I ever tell you about my time in Nam? And it's like, okay, look, it was the hippie days were going strong and everyone was trying to rebel and we were all trying to find purpose, Link. Me, Bill, Mac, we all decided to sign up together, but Mac, he died in that Jeep crash 3 days before we were set to deploy. And then he just goes. It's like, Grandpa, put the whiskey down. And then when you're done, as with every video game ever made that gives you a yes-no confirmation, the owl slowly asks, after he's had his third PTSD relapse episode, he's like, do you want me to repeat all that? So you press down, because that's where no is. And then it flips him on you. And you say yes, and and then he has another Nom flashback, and it's like, owl, please stop. Owl, I really liked you in Link's Awakening, but you're a little much here right now, buddy. Not great. Not great. Goemon has a hilarious elephant stuffed animal wearing like a yellow suit. I don't know why the elephant in the yellow suit's the narrator, but it's super cute and it's hilarious. Goemon wins. Goemon wins. Oh, you better start grunging on that guitar, because Zelda, you need to start making a comeback here, bro. You're about to get swept. The final boss in Goemon is Spring Breeze Dancin', a space kabuki theater troupe leader who uses his Independence Day styled massive flying space fortress shaped like a peach. A peach. Replete with green paneled metal leaves and all. It's a giant peach. And when he shoots his giant peach mountain cannon at Edo Castle, he transforms it into a European Disneyland style castle. And he's just like, no, I am the ultimate kabuki man of the universe. This place is trying to take all my kabuki theater watchers away from me. And so if I change the architecture and destroy the culture of Japan and ruin all their castles, then they will have to be forced, if they want to watch any kabuki theater, they will have to only watch me, Spring Breeze Dancin'. That's the villain of Goemon. He's hilarious, and I love him. But Zelda has Ganon. It's got Ganon, bro. Look, they can goofify and, you know, make Bowser all churlish all they want in the new Mario movies. That's fine. It's Bowser. You know, Bowser's whole thing is that he gets dunked on multiple times in one game. Like, you ever think about that? Like, in all the big Mario games, you dunk on Bowser repeatedly throughout the whole game. He's a joke. Ever since Mario 1, you just jump over Bowser, get the axe, you can fall in the lava 8 times in one game. Mario destroys and humiliates Bowser repeatedly. He's a joke. Ganon's not a joke. Ganon is terrifying as F. Do not Saturday morning cartoon villain Ganondorf, bro. Ganondorf's kind of a badass, actually. If he was my number one all-time Smash Melee character, let me tell you, I knew how to fox 1v1, no items, final destination, triple platform, whatever. I don't give an F. I learned from the best. I became savage. My favorite, though, was Ganondorf. I'm not saying he's the best character or I'm the best Ganondorf player ever, but I did love playing as him. Oh, so satisfying. Ganondorf is a Gerudo thief that is fundamentally like a male Calico Cat. Or, you know, like a male Mithra in Final Fantasy XI. You know, the Gerudos don't have very many males. So, realistically, Ganondorf, the Gerudo thief, he was a little bit like King Solomon, if you know what I'm saying. He's the only dude. Y'all seen that Futurama episode? You know what I'm talking. Snoo, right? He's the only dude. How are they going to propagate? Okay, so Ganondorf is a savage desert beast, all right? I'm just saying. And then he acquires the piece of power of the Triforce and, like, honestly, of all the Zelda games, I actually feel like it has the best final battle. Because Ganon loses at the top of his tower and the whole thing collapses and crumbles, and just that last fight with that rapid staccato drum beat and the snare drum, the humming gothic choir, the lightning flashing in the red sky. Oh man. Nah, dude. Honestly, that's not just better than Spring Breeze Dancing. That's like probably the third best final boss fight in video game history, at least. I think there's at least a few that are better, but I'm going to give it the bronze medal. It's on the podium at the very least. I'm here to talk crap about this game, but I won't BS anything about that final fight against Ganon. Like, dude, when his wrath and hatred become the only thing holding his corporealized existence together, that is then multiplied by the raw infinite power of the Triforce of Power, and he becomes Ganon for the first time. And it's like, oh, so this is how Ganondorf became Ganon. I think it's honestly probably the most pivotal and cool moment in the entire Zelda timeline, and I won't discredit it. It's amazing. But I think the other thing that really has always drawn me to Goemon, that I feel like I'm a little drunk, I feel like I need to mention this, is honestly, Goemon is what like got me into Japan. It's why I became a weeb. I am a weeb, believe me. But Goemon is this thing, early internet days, I'm just like, what are these red arches? Oh, they're torii gates. Okay. What are they for? Why does Japan build these things? Just started my weeb journey of like looking up things about Japan and learning about everything I could for most of my life from that point forward. So I credit that game with turning me into a weeb for sure, and just falling in love with every single thing that Japan does. Well, not everything, Marlon. Not everything. I got problems too, like everyone else, but I think overall, I really like Japan. Everyone got problems, man. You know what I'm saying? Every country got some kind of problem. But I feel like Japan's problems are something that can be fixed and recovered from better than other countries despite their problems. So, I guess I'm saying I see more potential hope for prosperity in Japan than I do for most other countries. Because, look, my body resides in America, but my heart lives in Japan, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. Just want to get that out of the way. So, let me get into my main gripe with Zelda by pointing out how much of a superior game the Goemon is. Okay? In Goemon, you have 4 characters that you start with 2, and you get 2 more along the way as you progress. And your A button jumps, your B button attacks, the Z button crouches, and you use the C buttons, switch between character, switch between one of 4 active tools for that character, and another C button will cast magic that character knows. It's pretty convenient. It's a pretty good use of not just button assignment, but it also speaks volumes to fantastic game design, wherein which the puzzles and combat only need this type of interaction for the player to be successful at them. Wonderful. And in Zelda, it's like, hold up. I need to change a thing. Oh, the items were to the right. I went the wrong way. I have to scroll 3 times to get to my freaking equipment. All right, so let me equip this bull crap instead. The pause menu goes down. Wow, that took a needless amount of time to do something incredibly simple. In my action RPG game, I think one of the best cases in point is between these two games. My favorite dungeon in Goemon is the water dungeon. It's the underwater submarine. Right after you get Ye's magic to turn into a mermaid. I didn't watch The Little Mermaid 5,000 times. I don't have a thing for Ariel. I mean, I had a thing. Anyway. So when you're in that underwater dungeon, you just switch to Ye and jump in the water, and you press the button, and now you're a mermaid, and now you can swim through the water. Cool. Also, shout outs to the room in the underwater submarine that's just full of miso soup, because that's Goemon right there. That's funny, bro. You're in the middle of the serious dungeon, and then one of the flooded rooms is just full of miso soup, giant Naruto fish cakes, green onions, and pieces, blocks of tofu the size of trucks. That's Goemon. It is dorky. Goemon is also this strange, like anachronistic multiple juxtaposition of the core identity of it is that it's like Edo Japan era, coming out of the Sengoku period Japan. But there's also like Family Marts and 7-Elevens and giant robots and submarines. Don't ask questions. It's Goemon, okay? You know what I'm going to talk about. You know what I've been leading up to this whole time. The unskippable giant cylindrical core of Ocarina of Time. It's the water temple. Yeah. And you remember how in Goemon you jump in the water and you press 2 buttons at max and then you're swimming? I walked in here with my iron boots and there's a wall. Okay, let me go down. Let me go down to the boots and equip the leather boots. It doesn't really make any sense. Link still has the iron boots on his person. Putting them on his feet makes them weigh more or something? This whole concept is stupid. Hate crap like this so much. Well, they're magical iron boots that weigh more when they're... why don't you make the magical boots let me swim through the effing water then? If their entire freaking purpose is, well, you go down in the water because you can't swim. So you know what you do in this dungeon? You open the pause menu. And then you equip the iron boots so that you slowly sink down to the bottom of the freaking thing. Sometime this year I'll reach the bottom, maybe. Okay, cool. I went down too far and I can't go through any of these doors. Let me open the menu again and then go take my boots off and close the menu. Again. So I can float up. Oh, you know what's probably the thing is that you floated up too far. Equip the metal boots. Oh, you can only move while the metal boots are not on. So open the menu and put the leather boots on so you can swim this way so that you can open the menu and put the metal boots back on so that you can land on the platform because Link can't swim. And then you repeat the menu dungeon for 500 freaking hours, and then you finally get to that one door that everyone forgets that one stupid ass key in, and what do you have to do? You have to backtrack through the entire half of the entire dungeon, opening the menu every 5 freaking seconds so you can move around and get that freaking key you missed. And that is a donkey diarrhea core. I don't like it. Goemon's a better game than Zelda. There. I don't know any other way to prove it to you. Now, see, in this new Ocarina of Time they got coming out, you know, they've been experimenting. If you've seen the way the game studios have been experimenting with game accessibility, I think that if they add an option as you walk into the water temple that's just like, hey, would you like to just 100% clear this dungeon and appear in the boss room on top of the heart container so that you can just skip this entire atrocity because it's a giant chunk of donkey feces in the middle of an otherwise magnificent game? Then I would have nothing but praise for Ocarina of Time. But as it stands, it is a magnificent work of art filled with donkey turds. I'm done. Thank y'all for listening. Appreciate your time. God bless. Later.